Hi, this is the first of a series of videos. I think it's going to be around 4 videos on the behavior tracking system that I created using Google Sheets, Forms, and Data Studio. The first video is going to be on the basic overview, so how to interact with the form and where the data ends up going. The second video will be on the charts from the perspective of the end user, so a coach, a teacher, somebody that's not playing around with the data in the background. The third video will be on the back end perspective and actually using the spreadsheet and creating the spreadsheet, or editing the spreadsheet, I should say, which is important the first time you set it up, and then you can leave it alone and it will do its thing. And the fourth video will be on the back end of the charts of the Data Studio. So looking at my screen right now, you'll see that I'm in my Drive, my Google Drive. So for this, you will have to create a Google account if you don't have one. But they are free. You can create a Google account for your school or for your classroom or whatever, and it's free. And you'll see that I have a behavior referral form, a student suspension form, and a behavior template only, which is a spreadsheet, and a copy of behavior charts. So I'm going to show you what happens when I interact with these forms and how they work. So let's begin by going into my folder called Clean Copy. When you receive this, you will only have one folder that's called Behavior Tracker, and it will have clean copies of everything for you with all the formulas done and everything set up. So I have 2 forms here. These are called forms. These are surveys by Google. One is the behavior referral form and one is the student suspension form. This one doesn't really have to be used, and you can delete that tab. But the referral form is the thing that I think people are here for if you're using this. And so the referral form asks some basic questions, and I'm going to fill some out just so you can see what happens here. So it's staff name, student ID. You need the student ID for this to be successful. There's no way that this can be successful without the student ID. Everything depends on the student ID in the Google Sheet. So we can choose the grade level. I have a K-8 school set up here. You can choose to make this K-12. You can choose to make it just a middle school. You can choose. These are flexible. And in the video for the back-end stuff, I will show you how to do that. Location, again, you can make these flexible. Let's say cafeteria. On Google Chrome, the date is a drop-down calendar, but on other browsers it will not be. You'll have to type that in manually, and on your phone, I'm not sure what it looks like. The time, I've rounded to the nearest half hour. That gets us close enough. If you click on acknowledgement, it'll bring you to these 3 questions. What did they do to earn an acknowledgement? What was the acknowledgement? And is there anything else to report? And then you hit submit, and it will go to the spreadsheet as an acknowledgement. If you hit problem behavior, it'll take you to the next section, which is major or minor. And so let's choose major to show you what that is. And there's all these options for major. If you go to minor, there's all these options for minor, and then the action taken. What did you do after they did this? I didn't put that after major. I'm thinking of doing that though. So this might look a little different when you get it, the final version. This is version 2 basically. And I might make a version 3 before it's released. So just so you know, it might look a little different. Either way, it goes to this perceived motivation page. If you select major and do that one, or minor and do this one, it always goes to perceived motivation. You have to choose one of them. Then it asks you if there's any other information. You can include your narrative here. So anything from a short write-up of what happened to, whatever you want, basically, can go here. And you'll click submit. You can go back and submit another response immediately, or you can just close it out. For those of you that are going into the spreadsheet, you will see that John B. has submitted a referral for Jim Flint, who's in grade 6. This was in the cafeteria. His ID number, Jim Flint, is 12345. This happened on 129 at 10:30 a.m. It was a minor behavior problem of disrespect. The teacher gave him a timeout, and they think the teacher, John, thinks that this child did this for adult attention. So, what happens now? The administrator, so for administrators this is important, will receive an email if they sign up for notifications, which is very easy to do. If you want notifications, you can click on Tools, Notification Rules, and say notify me at my email when any changes are made or when a user submits a form. So I would do when a user submits a form so that you're not getting constant emails. You can either do a daily digest or right away. And that will happen for this page. Okay. And then counselors, which I'll get to in a second, can do the same thing. So, administrator, I have put counselor names in here. Kim, Lori, Bob, Ken, John, and Bill. And I've also named one administrator so that when an administrator has to follow up, if there's no counselor needed or none needed. So there's no follow-up needed. So what I'm going to do is go back to my administrator tab and see that John was disrespectful. He got a timeout. And this is the first time he's done this, so I don't think a counselor is needed. So I'm going to go none needed. Right? And when I go down here to no counselor needed minor, you'll see that John's record automatically populates there. Now, if I'm the administrator and I decide, you know what, this is the 10th time he's done this, I want him to go see Kim to talk about this. He knows Kim. They've worked together in the past. Kim can help him with this, see what's going on. Maybe something else is happening. So Kim, if she has signed up for notifications, will get an email that says, hey, you've got a new referral, right? And so Kim can come into her tab, which I haven't renamed Kim, but it's called Counselor 1 here. And you can rename it Kim and Bob and John, or whatever the counselor names are. And you can add these as well. And people that are working in the back end, I'll show you how to do that at that video. So Kim can come in here, look at this record, say, oh, all right, so let me talk to him, and then maybe I'll talk to mom. And so the resolution is going to be spoke to mom. But before I get there, I just want to show you that as an administrator or as a coach or as a counselor, if you're curious, you can see open cases. And right now, the same record is in open cases. Right? And so as an administrator, I can look through and I can see that Kim has an open case and maybe Bob has an open case and maybe Kim has 5 open cases, so I need to talk to Kim. Or as a counselor, I can see, oh wow, my name here is a lot. I need to just fill in the resolution box because maybe I've solved all these cases, but I haven't populated that box. When you populate the resolution box, oops, wrong one, so counselor 1. So when I type in spoke to mom, it goes from open, now let's see, it's gone, to closed. Spoke to mom. But it remains on the counselors tab. It also goes to the disrespectful, so you can see here, there's 2 of these. Delete that one. So minors, it goes to minors. There's nothing in majors right now, and there's nothing in any of these counselors. If you put administrator in that administrator tab, it would go to the administrator follow-up, and if you put none needed, it goes to no counselor needed. Automatically fills in the resolution box, which goes to closed cases, because you don't want to have to leave those cases open. All problem behaviors go to the problem behavior tab, and all acknowledgements go to the acknowledgement tab automatically. Student demographics is a tab that on the back end I would suggest you fill in so that when it goes to the charts, which I'll show you in the next video, you will have the information for their gender, ethnicity, disability level, or disability if they have one, ENL level if they're an L, and are they economically disadvantaged. So I'm just going to copy John's student ID number, which is pretty easy because it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'm going to say that he's in Mary's class, and he's a male, and he's, I don't know, Hispanic. Hispanic, so that'd be, race would actually be white, Hispanic disability, let's say he's learning disabled, and he's a commanding L, and yes, he's economically disadvantaged. So now you will see in the 4 charts that that automatically fills in. Now, that's where I'm going to stop this video. It's long enough already. I hope you understand how going from the behavior referral form automatically brings things into the spreadsheet here through the form responses tab, and then administrators can control the next process.